Hai, welcome to Kremés podcast.
Podcast yang paling receh and garing, but maybe informative too, depending on the day.
I'm T.
And I'm A,
Semoga podcast ini bisa nemenin lo.
and hope you enjoy the episode.
Hey guys, welcome back to Kremés podcast, full of great chats with myself, T, and my good friend A. We have been talking about a whole bunch of stuff from like real world scenarios, COVID, and careers and life, and I think it's time for another curhat session. What do you think, A?
Jadi biar intinya, teh mau curhat.
Yeah,
doang.
gitu doang.
Gitu doang.
I was like, because when you guys ask us questions about like where we get inspo from for our episodes, literally can be from anything and anywhere.
Yes.
And I just had this situation happen to me, and I was like, I would think I would benefit from talking to someone about it, and why not talk to A, and why not put it up on it for the whole world to hear about it. But yeah, no, this is honestly just like a super off script, off the cuff chat, so bear with us guys if I suddenly mind blank or if I start mumbling because I have no idea where it's gonna go. We'll just see how the conversation pans out. But yeah, sumpah, it's just a curhatan. I was just gonna like share so a couple of weeks ago, so obviously I am Asian. I was brought up in a fully Asian household that had like my parents are quite, they're not so much conservative, but they are aware of conservative and the traditional, very much Asian upbringing and how to basically be a good person in an Asian point of view. Jadi tata krama, filial piety, and respect, hormat orang tua, dan respect orang tua, all that kind of stuff, which is, I think a lot of it is already mutually shared with like Western dan tata krama yang lebih kebulean gitu ya. But I don't know. Okay, so the situation is my sister went to a friend's house for a party, and then teman ini orang bule, kayak full on like Aussie gitu kan. Nah, adek gua kasih kado yang lumayan besar, kayak kardusnya besar gitu. Like it wasn't heavy, it was just a very big box gitu. So the present looks huge. And then nyokap gue ada bilang ke adek gue, pas tuh sampai ke rumah temen lu, suruh temen lu bantu at least kan, because my sibling, I have a sister, and the birthday person is a guy gitu, who's like taller than my sister, who's like, my mom already knows him so well, like he's physically able to carry this box or at least help my sister out gitu kan. So my mom udah bilang kayak, kamu perempuan, so don't, especially because there's like your friend's a guy, like let him take, or like he should be doing it automatically, but if he doesn't, then ask him to, like you should not need to carry the present out of the car. And then my sister karena ilfeel atau apa gitu, basically ended up having to carry it like herself, because I think like because I wasn't there, I was gue cuma diceritain by my mom after it happened. So when she arrived at her friend's house, the birthday boy, obviously being the birthday boy, was just so distracted doing other things that my sister was like trying to call him and could never get his attention. So in the end, she didn't want to keep like my parents waiting, like, and then there's like other cars. Pokoknya it was like a whole awkward situation that she ended up just carrying the present herself. Basically, once my mom saw that happening, she got so mad. She got so mad mainly at the birthday boy and the birthday boy's family, because his parents were there too, like it was at their house, the party, and then ortunya kayak juga lagi cuman kayak nongkrong ngobrol sama orang tua yang lain gitu, kayak they saw us coming and they saw the present, but they just looked at it and they didn't help, like they didn't even offer help carrying it. And then so my mom was kind of just like disappointed at like that family, because like they're pretty close friends with my sister, so like we thought that and then I think my mom had just expectations that just didn't get met, and then she got annoyed, just got pissed at the whole situation, and then she also kind of got a little bit like, I don't know, iffy about it. I feel that while the situation is such a minor thing, it is just one example of a whole bunch of different similar issues that has happened. So I just wanted to have this chat because is that expectation of having the guy carry the big box simply just, it's chivalry, right? Like it should be a mannerism and an etiquette and a expected behavior that is like agreed upon across all cultures and across all situations, or is it specifically something that Asians are like always taught to do, thus it's like in our expectations, whereas like orang bule nggak terlalu, so it's like there's that disparity. I don't know, like I don't know if I'm even stringing the right questions in a sentence. I don't even know if I'm making sense, but I just feel that one example was the most recent one where I faced, where it's like, oh, like I expected they would do it, or they would act in this way, but they didn't, and it does affect me. It kind of gives me these emotions, not exactly disappointment like what my mom felt, but a little bit of like kayak mungkin kayak disikut gitu, just you know, just a bit of like, oh, like I see gitu. And then so I don't know if it's because of my Asian upbringing that I expect them to act this way, or if it's just like a general thing. So I don't know. Then again, I also hear that chivalry is dead, so
jujur kalau menurut gue sih ya, kata gue selama pengalaman gue sih ya, ada bedanya sih. Kayak maksudnya kayak kalau di Indo tuh gila ya, misalnya kayak lu jalan di trotoar, cowoknya jalan di luar gitu. Even if you're just friends. Kalau misalnya kalian lagi mau nyebrang, cowoknya di depan mobil yang stop the car gitu. Dan kayak kalau misalnya kalau gue pulang ke Indo, gue dijemput gitu. Maksudnya kayak they really have that level of gentleman that we might not have. Tapi juga at the same time, menurut gue hal-hal sih, soalnya saya kayak di sini pun juga ada gitu. Maksudnya kayak kalau gue misalnya di mana gitu, misalnya barangnya berat gitu, cowok-cowoknya bantuin bawain gitu tanpa perlu diminta gitu. Tapi juga samanya gue ketemu sama teman-teman Indo gue mau ngangkat 20 kilo punya stereo juga nggak dibantuin gitu. Maksudnya kayak, jadi nggak tahu sih, kalau gue sih sekarang ngeliatnya lebih ke tergantung orang gitu loh. Maksudnya kayak kalau orangnya emang brought up well and like the parents taught them well, kerasa gitu. Maksudnya kerasa kayak even tapi jujur gue lebih ngerasa waktu kita lagi di kantor sih. Maksudnya kayak they open the door for us without even asking, they hold the lift for us gitu loh. Kayak maksudnya they do all that without us even asking anything gitu. Tapi satu sisi nggak semua cowok juga gitu, jadi kayak padahal kita di kantor mostly notabene orang western kan, tapi they still do that for us gitu. They let us go out first and stuff like that gitu. Jadi kata gue antara faktor umur, karena maksudnya of course there yang di kantor kan pasti lebih tua daripada kita kan, mereka kayak umur 40-an gitu.
Jadi udah ada pengalaman
and also like gitu. back in their day, gentleman is like you need to be a gentleman. There's a certain level of like need to be gentleman. Karena maksudnya mereka lahir 1970-an, 1960-an, di mana you know all the men are like proper, and it's not like, and di sini kita bukan ngomongin kayak kita kan mau feminis, kita mau women can do whatever men can do that's true, and that of course is true, but in this situation dedenya teh gak kuat untuk angkat kotak gitu loh. Bukan masalah dia cowok atau cewek gimana, tapi kalau dia nggak kuat ya berarti dibantuin dong gitu loh. Jadi ini bukannya literally just because guy needs to do that. The same kalau misalnya gue sama Teh, kita lagi mau keluar pintu, if I open the door for her, it's still called chivalry gitu loh. It's not me being gentleman. It's just you know, manner ya, sopan banget gitu. Dan ini ke bawah, makanya gue lebih suka kalau kita ngomongin manner, etiquette kayak Teh bilang gitu, antara ini karena kita dibawa sama Asia atau Western culture atau gimana. Karena maksudnya kita banyak banget kan etikanya gitu. Maksudnya kayak kita kalau lagi makan dimsum, kita yang harus nuangin tea buat orang lebih tua gitu kan. Terus kalau misalnya kita itu ke bawah kemana-mana, misalnya kayak kita mau ngambil makanan, do we ngambilin buat kita dulu, apa kita ngambil buat dede kita dulu, atau kita ngambil buat itu semua kita diajarin waktu kita kecil gitu kan. Dan itu ke bawah sampai sekarang gitu. Jadi kalau misalnya even kayak kalau gue misalnya hangout sama temen gue, it becomes a standard, it becomes a base for us, not gonna lie. Jadi buat gue sih lebih ke standar buat gue sendiri gitu loh. Kayak misalnya gue lagi duduk nih, gue yang kayak nih cowok nggak nawarin teh atau nggak nawarin water gitu, itu udah low-key like red flag for me. I'm like bukannya karena dia cowok, okay, I mean of course if it's talking about relationship it's a red flag because of course he's gonna be a guy, right? Tapi kalau misalnya menurut gue, kalau misalnya in a sense even as friends I don't mind so much, like as friends I'm still okay, like cause But if we're talking about a relationship, then I will look at him and be like, you don't even offer me water. You don't even offer to cook the barbecue for me. And this is not talking that I can't do it, because all my friends know kalau kita hang out kayak barbecue atau apapun, gue bakal tuangin air, gue bakal cook the barbecue gitu loh. Itu jadi maksudnya, so this is what I mean, like it's not really about double standard, or is it not about expectation. It's just because even I would do it, why can't he do it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think like that water example is like spot on, because it's like kalau di Indo, pas lu ada tamu di rumah langsung air, langsung at least dikasih air kan, at least like tea or coffee is probably the better one, but at least air. So it's like if anyone comes to my house, regardless if it's my boyfriend, my family, or even just friends, or even just like a guest, like neighbor atau apa gitu, I would at least offer them water if I didn't have anything else. So it's like. And also like the situation of like, you know, relationships and everything. Obviously relationship is like a whole different dynamic and a whole different set of expectations. But I think also like even just friends, like had my sister's friend be a girl also, I think the same rough expectations will still apply, because it's not about being the guy and you have to help. It's more like being a friend, and they're a close friend, you know, and it's a big box.
At least like, carry it together.
Yeah, at least carry it together, or at least the parents, you know, would like chip in, not just look at it and just be like, oh, okay, and not do anything about it.
I
think it's like, I don't know, because it's like, whenever I go out with friends gitu kan, or whenever I hear stories of like my sister's friends yang kayak going out atau kayak nebeng atau, you know, patungan kado atau apa gitu, anything, my parents have these sort of like expectations that like quietly they would expect my sister's friends would act in a certain way, or respect her, or you know, kalau originally agreed that they would pick her up tapi mendadak nggak bisa, at least tell her, you know, not just suddenly leave her out of the blue gitu kan. It's like like my parents sometimes they find that it's like, oh, I'm a little bit disappointed because they had expected a good friend, or at least a friend that wants to respect the relationship, the platonic relationship, would, you know, still be kind, or at least have the etiquette, you know, or the courtesy to do certain things. So it's not so much like, it's not so much specifically targeting like gentlemen and like gentlemanliness gitu kan. It's just like human behavior in general. So I don't know, like I think ultimately it is pendidikan and pengalaman, because like you said, you know, the older more senior people would probably be more aware of those things, because during the era of their childhood that was more of an emphasis, whereas sekarang kan banyakan kan udah lifestyle-nya cepet banget kan, and kayak, you know, everything is so fast paced and everything is very practical, that perhaps you know, there is not a lot of time in teaching or imparting those kinds of skills. And that's why there's now a lot of like etiquette and mannerism schools, you know, like around, or people are having to like Google about how to like, you know, behave in certain areas in certain ways. But I don't know.
Jujur ya guys, kalau kalian yang lagi ngedengerin, ini semua personal opinion ya. Jadi kalau misalnya kalian nggak setuju, sok silakan, nggak usah setuju. Kalau kalian setuju juga boleh. Ini literally personal opinion, literally. They're asking me a question, and this is how I really think, and this is how we usually discuss things, because we wanna know what each other thinks and wanna see if we're actually too much or we're overreacting and stuff like that, you know. Tapi menurut gue justru kata gue kebalik loh. Maksudnya orang-orang Western, kalau yang older than us, the era of 40, 50, whatever, they're actually more gentlemen. Like they're actually so gentlemen. They will open the door for you. They will like, if you're lifting heavy things, they will like. They acknowledge it and they will help you and stuff like that. Kalau the new generation, I don't think so. So like, I mean,
you me gitu.
You me, bayar semua kepisah. Lu mau jalan ya jalan, lu nggak mau jalan ya nggak usah jalan.
It's a free world.
Okay, it's a free world. And that's why like the little population of the person that do things makes us like, ooh, oh my god, he's so nice and stuff like that. Karena that's how low the level is at the moment in people, not Western people, people that live in Western countries. Okay, let's just get that straight. It's not. I'm not talking about the actual kayak orang Western atau orang asing yang dari Western. tapi orang-orang yang tinggal di Western countries. So this including like Asian living in Western countries, Korean, Indian, Indonesian, Chinese, you know, everyone. Like they could be from England for all I know. Usually cowok-cowoknya yang lebih umurnya 40-50 itu lebih respect ada gentleman-nya lah gitu. Kalau misalnya anak-anaknya not so much at the moment, itu yang gue lihat malah lebih ke ceweknya yang harus kayak baby orang-orangnya gitu. Misalnya kayak ceweknya yang ngingetin atau ceweknya yang minta. But you know, with us girls, if you're being a gentleman, if we ask for it, we're no longer being a gentleman, we're just asking for it, right? Tapi kalau menurut gue di Indo, di Asia in general, maybe Asia in general, kebalik. Justru kata gue orang yang 40-50, yang 60, they're actually the one that don't really respect women. Like, I think that's based from knowing like the statistics and also like, you know, like even back then, remember when we were a kid, like our parents would be like, oh, careful, marry to this woman, to like this type of generate like this type of person from certain countries because how they treated women. But all of those people that they see are from their generation, like 40-50, right? Tapi justru kata gue orang-orang Asia yang anak-anak mudanya yang seumuran kita justru lebih gentleman gitu loh. For some reason they pick you up. They will hold flowers for you, they will hold your bag, they wouldn't even ask for it. They understand this, like, you know, I have to like respect my elders, I will pay respect, I will pour water, I will pay for food, like all those things. And that's including Asia, orang-orang yang tinggal di Asia ya. Again, you can be a Westerners that live in Asian, you probably act kind of roughly the same. And this is, you can see it from like, you know, unfortunately or fortunately, from like, you know, K-dramas and stuff like that. Or even when you go back to Indo, I can feel it. When like I watch TikTok, I watch videos, and usually the people that are born in Asia or live in Asia, they have that certain mannerism when they're our age. So that's how I look at it. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why. Maybe it could be the Asian countries start listening or, you know, watching all these like Western movies or learning how gentleman is back then. Or while like the Western country is like kind of more developed with the quotation mark in a sense that they're like, you know, we're a human being, we're all equal kind of type of situation. But like, again, this is not like girl man situation, like boy man situation, or like girl versus boy kind of situation. It's just in general, that's what I found.
I think it's like, I wasn't really expecting sort of like obviously a definite answer or anything, right? It was just like meant to be like an open-ended discussion, because it is something that I've just felt that it's like, oh, is it because, like, am I having these expectations because of the way I was brought up, or in the culture that I was brought up? Or is it just something that anyone should expect, you know, like any young lady should expect out of fellow ladies and men and other people of you know, non-binary sort of.
Makanya tuh kayak the thing, like, kalau misalnya menurut gue ya, karena nggak tahu, gue tuh sampai harus dikasih tahu sama temen gue kayak I have to know my worth gitu loh, Teh. Maksudnya kayak dia literally kayak, kalau misalnya ini of course kalau gue lebih ke cenderung ke masalah relationship ya misalnya, karena kalau misalnya kalau teman, kita berteman dengan siapa aja gitu, that's fine. Tapi even teman aja kayak sempet gitu, misalnya teman aja nih ya, terus kita habis beres makan restoran, biasanya kita tumpuk dong makanannya jadi satu. Ya kenapa? Karena kita udah pernah ngerasain guys yang namanya kerja di restoran. Kalau menurut gue ya, kalau gue pribadi, gue udah pernah ngerasain kerja di restoran atau hospitality in general, whether it's retail, restoran, fast food, apapun itu, gue tahu betapa beratnya kerja kayak gitu. So now whenever I go to restaurant, I will tumpuk semua makanan jadi satu, bener gak? Terus nanti kasih ke orangnya gitu. Terus for me and some of the girls or some of the grads, karena kita semua kan umurnya sama lah gitu, it makes sense. Kita kayak, that's what we should do, because we're helping them.
Like, let's, you know, stack the plates together, or at least put it in one area, so it's easier to ringkas gitu.
Dan ketika ada salah satu dari kita yang kayak, oh ngapain lu ngerjain kayak gitu, itu kan kerjaan mereka, that's it. Buat gue, di mata gue, orang itu tuh langsung respect levelnya go down, ngerti gak sih? Maksudnya kayak, siapa lu, like, do you never work in hospitality atau gimana? Maksudnya kayak, kalau bisnis anaknya banget ngomong kayak gitu, itu kan kerjaan mereka, terserah gitu. Dan itu doesn't matter if that was a guy or a girl, it's just is like that's where it becomes. Jadi kayak hal-hal kayak gitu loh, kayak misalnya sesuatu yang small and in general, tapi kalau misalnya seseorang kayak gitu, you know it's already what are you doing?
I think it's interesting that you mentioned that, like, you know, now, like, there could be, like, we're just so used to, you know, we are so used to the way things are, as in like gua practical, everybody for every man, for every human for themselves, that we have low expectations for these kinds of things. But I've also been told on the other hand that it's like, I heard somewhere that like the key to happiness is having low expectations. Because which is kind of like true but also sad.
It is really sad
because it's like we need to have worth, like you said. We need to have self-worth, and we need to have a standard for ourselves and how others treat us and how we treat others, right? And it's kind of just sad to know that like you have zero expectations for someone opening the door for you, that kind of thing, or someone like helping you carry a box if it looks obviously big, or if it looks obviously that you can't carry it, you know. And like it's come up to the point where it's like, even if some guy holds the door for you when you, like, you know, walk out, you sort of associate it romantically, you know, when it's just meant to be like, no, that's what he's meant to do.
Like, you know? It's just normal. I think kalau misalnya kayak gini ya mungkin lebih ke kalau menurut gue sih ya, kalau gue sekarang mikirnya lebih ke where you put the value in it. Jadi kalau misalnya gini, kalau misalnya gue personally nih buka pintu, cowoknya nggak bukain, gue fine gitu. Ceweknya nggak bukain, gue fine. Tapi kalau misalnya udah mau rambat ke relationship kayak gitu, orang ini selalu dijemput sedangkan guanya nggak pernah dijemput sama dia, itu baru gue red flag. Gue yang kayak oke. Terus misalnya temen, kayak tadi yang gue bilang, misalnya kayak ya lu sebagai teman lu nggak bukain pintu gue nggak masalah deh, lu nggak bayarin buat gue masalah, terserah. Maksudnya kita semua teman, me you fine gitu. Tapi kalau misalnya lu mulai rude sama waiter dan lu bilang kayak itu kan kerjaan mereka, ngapain gue udah segini, itu baru gue yang kayak, you know what, why do I want to be friends with you? Gitu. Gue punya worth, gue punya standar, maksudnya lu nggak bisa kayak gitu itu it's just appreciation to other people gitu kan. Dan lebih mungkin lebih ke situ gitu. Kalau misalnya contoh buat gue pribadi sih, ngangkat berat, ngangkat kardus gitu, gue masih fine, cause I mean like I can do it myself. If the guy that I like didn't do it, then maybe it's a red flag. Tapi kalau misalnya temen, gue masih kayak udahlah, you me, right? I mean we're living in Western countries, right? Tapi ya kalau jadi kayak gitu loh, misalnya kayak we have to look at little things one by one gitu. Tapi maksudnya of course kita nggak bisa langsung cancel someone from our life gara-gara dia nggak nuangin water gitu kan. Tapi we can still like, I feel like we can still take that as a note, or even teach them. Because for me, I was like, I literally just tell my friend that one, gue langsung kayak, kalau bisa kayak gitu sih, like do you never work in hospitality? And he actually got so much banter out of it, got so much like, I don't know, got so much things out of it. Because of that, like all the other friends were just like, yeah, dude, you were rude, blah blah blah. And from then he understand that like, oh, okay, this is what the norm. They will reflect upon it. Because like sometimes people just don't think, and sometimes jokes go overboard. And I feel like, you know, it's just kind of like case by case situation gitu.
I think there's also that flip side where like you said, you touched on feminism and that kind of thing, right? Like women gitu kan, because some people don't want help, right? And it's like istilahnya carrying a box gitu. If someone asks if you want help, you can always say no, right?
Exactly.
And like
vice versa.
And technically both people should not take offense from it, because it was just someone out of the kindness of their heart offered help. If that person says no, you shouldn't be offended about asking for help. Or you shouldn't be offended offering help, nor should you be offended if you're carrying the box and someone asks you for help, because like some people, I don't know, because I've heard that like some people assume like, what, you think I'm helpless? Like why you asking me? Like no, like I'm fine gitu kan. But it's like, it's just, you know, sometimes a miscommunication as well. But it's just interesting to sort of like be aware of that, I guess. But I think ultimately, like, look, I don't know, this discussion was just like an interesting one because I just wanted to explore mannerisms, etiquette, expectations, and human behavior, and not just between, not just like with guys gitu kan for us as girls, but anyone in general, right? Between your friends, between your colleagues, that kind of thing, and between anyone you work with, because it might affect you. It might be those little things that like just brush up on you and be like, oh, like
there's so many
what
things.
Is this?
Like, not gonna lie, there's so many things, like even simple things ya. Contoh misalnya kayak kalau misalnya kalian lagi di meeting room, so ada orang datang, orang baru visitor, you should at least stand and shake their hands. Tapi kita nggak diajarin kan. It's something that we saw other people do it and we understand that that's the manner. Then you will actually look pretty bad compared to them when you just sitting down and shake their hands. Kalian masih tetap salaman, cuman kalian duduk. Kayak itu tuh ada sedikit kayak
udah itu
beda
dan
gitu.
Itu juga.
Nah, tapi itu etiquette kan. Itu nggak ada hubungan tentang girl, guy, whatever, nggak ada gitu. It's just normal professional etiquette.
Tapi itu juga mungkin lebih di-emphasize kalau di Asia, karena that is a very, I don't know, like, cause I was not, like you said, I was not taught about it here.
In here justru gue malah ngeliatnya di sini, karena waktu kita lagi misalnya assessment center, interview gitu ya,
so everyone
kan,
like that.
Jadi orang pertama biasa suka nggak stand nih kayak hi, my name is B, and then they just sit down. But the next person who knows the etiquette of professionalism stand and be like, hello everyone, and they like scan the room, hello everyone, scan the room, hi, my name is C, I work as this, and they look to everyone, and from then that person onwards, everyone follow that person, because they can see the difference already gitu kan. Tapi ya bener kata Teh, gue setuju. Biasanya kayak ini gue juga mau ngomongin tentang ke cewek-ceweknya gitu. Guys, girls, kalau misalnya kalian dapet treat nicely, why are you gonna be angry about it? Like, say thank you, and if you don't want it, say no thank you. They're literally just trying to be nice. They're not trying to like say that you are like, you are low, whatever, and stuff like that. Like, karena maksudnya susah gitu loh. Misalnya kalau kalian langsung judge guys in the like in such a feminazi kind of glasses, then everything they do will look bad. Even if they do nothing, look bad. They do something, also look bad. Like, what do you want from them gitu loh. Tapi you have to look at it in like a factual sense gitu. Jujur aja kalau misalnya gue mau ngomong kayak tentang, maybe this could be like a talk about on like a different episode about pay grade, and like, if girls should be able to lift stuff as well, girls should be in like STEM and stuff like that, or like vice versa. I think we need to see it in a factual manner gitu. Kalau misalnya, ketemu sama orang ini, kalian lunch bareng, kamu mau bayar, dia juga mau bayar. Well, why don't you actually think about it as in like, oh my god, thank you so much. You value this friendship as much as I value this friendship. How about this? I pay for this one, you pay for next one.
Yeah, exactly. Or just cari kompromi gitu kan.
Or misalnya, you don't want to split bills, he want to split bills. But think about it like in a different way. Maybe we're actually not compatible. Or maybe this is his way trying to not have debt. All those things, because you never know. Think about it when you are in that shoe gitu. Kalau misalnya kita sebagai ceweknya nih, kalian mau split bill lah, gue tanya aja jujur-jujuran lah. Kalau misalnya kita sendiri yang pengen split bill, maybe because we're not interested in the guy, or maybe because we don't want to have any debt to this guy, or maybe we don't want to we might not have time to do another lunch or another dinner or another catch up, and you're thinking that maybe I better just pay my share now. Kalau kita ada catch up lagi, that's good. If we don't, that's good. But if the girl wanna pay, maybe because she thinks that karena ini kan makanan baru, gue takut lu nggak suka, jadi gue mau bayar. Jadi kalian win-win. Lu suka bagus, gak suka juga nggak apa-apa. Kalau misalnya lu suka ya bagus, next time kita dinner lagi, lu yang bayar. Kali ini gue yang bayar. Atau kalau lu nggak suka ya at least lu nggak lose apa-apa kan, karena kan makanan gratis gitu loh. Kita aja sebagai cewek aja bisa mikir kayak gitu. Jadi we should try at least to think in their shoes as well gitu. Kita nggak bisa cold cut gitu kan. Jadi ya menurut gue sih gitu sih. Jadi kayak satu sisi ya gue juga nggak setuju kalau misalnya dengan orang-orang kayak our parents usually yang langsung kayak, wah ini mah rasis, wah ini mah nggak gentleman gini-gini. Maksudnya kayak no, it's not like, mom, come on, it was just queuing, or it was just something like, it was not something big. Gue juga nggak mau radikal dan nggak mau kayak go to the extreme. Tapi at the same time we should also have our worth gitu loh. Like man, my friend told me, it was like, your sonnet is so low, I can't even trip over it. dia aja sampai nggak bisa kesandung gara-gara standar gue terlalu low. Terus gue yang kayak gila itu sih jahat banget sih gila. Tapi kok bener ya? Tapi kok jahat banget ya gitu maksudnya. Yeah, then like you know we shouldn't be that low either gitu loh maksudnya. Kayak jangan sampai segitunya gitu. Masa orang jemput kita aja kita langsung udah soon gitu. Padahal banyak orang lain yang bakal jemput kita gitu.
Seharusnya ya.
Iya, dan itu kan gak harus cewek cowok juga gitu. Maksudnya kayak gini lah misalnya temen cowok yang lu gebet, yang lu suka gitu, nggak jemput lu gitu. You can even think of it like gila, Teh aja bakal jemput gua. Masa nih cowok nggak kan? Teh padahal cuma temen gitu loh. Dia kalau mau lebih dari temen dia harus do something,
step up his game,
step up his game gitu. Dan ini bukan lu ekspektasi gimana juga, lu juga harus ngeliat kayak oh gua aja bakal jemput teman gitu loh, gua aja I will do the same thing gitu kan. And I think that's what's important, like everything that you expect from other people, I think at least you should expect it from yourself as well. That's what I would say. If you expect them to carry this heavy load for you, maybe you need to make sure and you need to also be able to do the same to other people or at least help the other people. Kalau nggak lu hipokrit, lu cuma pengen dapet enaknya aja gitu loh. And that's the same, misalnya kayak lu pengen orang bisa bukain pintu buat lu. Well, how about you open the door for someone else too?
Exactly.
You know, like so you give them the standard. This is the standard of me being me. Like if my standard is already this, you at least need to be in my level or above my level. You know?
Or
I think that's like the best.
That's interesting. I think it's like this has been a really, really good chat that ultimately leads to like self-worth and understanding that it's interesting to see that our current society has set us up for like, for the younger generation to have quite a low standard for themselves. When if you like, time traveled back in the day, like there was just a whole lot of other etiquette and mannerism and courteous, like behaviour and words that are supposed to be, just common sense,
Even like, jujur kalau ini terakhir misalnya kayak gue ingat Titanic. I read the diary of someone that wrote the Titanic and I cried. I cried because literally she wrote it the way it was happened. She was like, when someone said there's a woman and child, the men make a wave. It's like they were parted like sea parted to make way for the woman and the child to go to the boat. And that was like, wow. Like for me, I was just like,
no questions asked langsung. I'm willing to sacrifice my life for like the women and children that I might not even know. Gitu kan. But it's women and children,
and
so
they don't know them. It's just a certain level of respect that they have. And I think nowadays we have that too. Even though it's not like guy versus girl, but we have that in respect of our elders.
Of course.
When we're in the train and stuff like that, if they need to seat, we need to give the seat to them. Pregnant women, people that are not well. Like, why can't we do the exact same thing? Why can't we have that level of respect as well? Like, that's not just respect on them, but it's respect to ourselves as well in a sense, like, because I mean, in Australia, the kids are using 50 cents smart rider. Like, your train ticket is only 50 cents, while all these elders and all the women and stuff like that, they paid full price. Or even their concession is still like $2, which is like 400% your price. Why is it so hard for you to stand up? Like it's just those things. You are stronger. You can stand. Like, why not?
Let us know what you guys think about this whole topic and what your views are on tata krama, etiquette, mannerisms. Are we overreacting in certain ways? Is there certain Asian specific mannerisms from the Asian culture that that lead us to expect these things as we live in a Western society? But keen to get your thoughts. As always, let us know what you guys are interested in hearing us chat about next, and we'll see you for the next episodes.
Really sorry if it's kind of pedes today, but
it's also our opinion, I guess. So it's like don't come at us. This is just us really just curhat about what we think about this whole situation.
I mean, if you don't like it, please write it on a comment so we can also see other people's
we'd
point
love
of
to
view.
get like other views as well on this whole situation. But ultimately, love yourself. There we go.
Yeah, so we at least we can get better on it as well. But yeah, thank you for listening.
Bye guys.
Bye.
Thank you for listening.
Jangan lupa like, comment, and subscribe, and share it with your friends.
I'd love to hear from you. Please reach out with your comments, stories, and even questions on what we should talk about. See you in the next episode.
Bye. Dah.